Are you tired of being manipulated by politicians who claim to represent the people but are only interested in their selfish gains? Are you frustrated with the way money drives politics at the expense of public interest? In this episode, we will share with you 8 powerful strategies to avoid being misled by slick politicians. Have you ever watched a political speech or debate and felt like the politician was trying to manipulate you? They all talk about creating jobs, improving the economy, and making healthcare more affordable. You start to feel excited, right? You think, well, finally someone who's going to fight for the people. Yet, when none of this comes to fruition, do you wonder if what they were saying was really for your benefit, or was it for their own? If so, you're not alone. Many people feel this way, and it's important to know how to protect yourself from these manipulative tactics. The problem with politics is that politicians typically pursue power to advance their selfish, vested interests. They want to persuade us that their efforts are determined by what best serves the people. But in reality, it is usually power and money that drives politicians. Big money is always protecting big money, and corporations and their super rich pour money into campaigns and lobbying to buy politicians. Unfortunately, in our current system, money drives politics at the expense of public interest. So what can you do to protect yourself from manipulative politicians? Here are 8 powerful strategies. 1. Be skeptical. Politicians manipulate people by using catchphrases, sound bites, fancy images, and steering delivery of their messages to the masses. Always evaluate their statements and try to determine what they actually mean. 2. Understand the difference between a statesman and a politician. Statesmen are people who are genuinely concerned with the public good and selflessly work for the people they represent. Politicians, on the other hand, typically pursue power to advance their selfish, vested interests. 3. Follow the money. Ask the key question lawyers ask: who benefits? Always try to determine what politicians want you to believe and why. For example, if a politician pushing to get a highway built across a beautiful forest tells you how much that will save on emissions from less miles driven, ask yourself if he's doing it because he really has environmental reasons in mind. 4. Notice how politicians appeal to your emotions and manipulate you by trying to show they empathize with you and folks like you. This is designed to show you they care about you, the people, but they don't. Don't be fooled by this masquerade. 5. Pay attention to how politicians use language. Look for the use of language that reinforces prejudices or stereotypes. See if they are fostering an us versus them mentality. See if they are provoking unnecessary fear. 6. Notice how politicians will always reflect the views of the time and culture they are in. That is, they won't necessarily do what's the right thing, but rather they'll do what the population expects them to do. And this, of course, could be the very opposite of the right thing. 7. Always keep in mind the vested interests of politicians. Remember that politicians want to have power, perks, and prestige, and so their primary concern is getting re-elected, not the public's welfare. Once you understand this, you will find it easier to predict their behavior. 8. Always keep in mind that depth cannot be expressed in sound bites. Politicians tend to stay at the superficial level, and their views are simplistic, and rarely do they have any deep understanding of either the issue or the historical context around it. How do these strategies sound to you? Do you think they will help you better understand and decode what wily politicians are doing? Let me know in the comments section. And if you want to see all these strategies written up, you can find them in the article under the same title on Thought Academy's website. Now that you know these strategies, you have the power to protect yourself from being misled by politicians. But why is this important? Because our lives and our future depend on the decisions made by politicians. They make the laws, they control the resources, and they shape our society. If we allow ourselves to be misled, then we risk losing control of our own lives and our own future. So let's take action. Let's demand more from our politicians. Let's hold them accountable for their actions. Let's vote for statesmen who genuinely care about the public good, not just for politicians who are driven by their own self-interest. By doing so, we can create a better future for ourselves and for generations to come. Remember, the power is in your hands. Use it wisely. Don't be misled. Be informed, be skeptical, and most importantly, be an active participant in shaping the future of our society. Thank you for joining us on this eye-opening exploration. If you found this content useful and want to stay informed about future discussions, be sure to subscribe to our channel. That way, you will be notified when we post new episodes, and you won't miss out on new content that challenges our perspectives and promotes a deeper understanding of our world.